Hey guys, there is no substitute for seat time. That's what we're going to talk about today on Dirt Bike Channel. At the time that I'm filming this video, I've got about 8 inches of snow right outside that door here in my yard. That's down in the valleys. And the places that I normally ride have anywhere from 10 inches of snow to 4 feet of snow. And so I'm not getting a whole lot of seat time. But seat time is definitely on my mind right now because there is no better way to improve your riding than to actually get seat time or throttle time, however you want to call it. Whether you want to be the best motocross racer in the world or the best trail junkie in the world like me, seat time is the best way to accomplish that goal. So it's, you know, rather than putting a ton of modifications into your bike and rather than spending a whole bunch of money that way, if you want to become a better rider, the best thing you can do is just get out there and put gas through the carburetor or gas through your EFI if you got an EFI bike. But honestly, the best thing you can do is get the seat time in. So better than putting a recluse clutch on your bike or better than putting, you know, some other mod on there, you're going to get more bang for the buck and become a better, more skilled rider just by riding more and more. I've learned this over the past 5 or so years as I've been seriously riding dirt bikes. I've ridden bikes, I've ridden machines ever since I was about 6. But mostly I did a lot of four-wheeler riding up until the time that I got to be, I guess it was 2009 or 2010, I guess it was, that I kind of said, okay, I want to try to do dirt bikes seriously. I've ridden dirt bikes before, but I want to kind of get into it big time again. And the amount of progression that I've made from 2010 until now, January 2016, is mostly just practice and it's just seat time. Now, I'm not the best rider in the world, but I'm getting better. And every time I go out and ride, I get better and better. Now, as you get more and more seat time and put more time on the throttle with you and on your bike, you just start to get more comfortable. And the gap between you and the machine become smaller and smaller to the point that soon you'll be out there on the trail and every once in a while it will feel like you are part of the machine or the machine is part of you, and that comes with more seat time. The other thing that will happen is that you will just become more confident in knowing what the bike is going to do in certain situations and knowing how your front wheel is going to handle and knowing how your rear wheel is going to handle. And this gives you so much more confidence when you come up on those big obstacles or those big hits or things like that. You know what the bike is going to do and you instinctively know what you should be doing, and you're using a lot of muscle memory. As your muscle memory increases, you start to just instinctively know what to do out there on the bike. I remember when I first started to do single track riding, I'd go kind of flying down some trail, I would go riding down some trail and my front tire would be bouncing off all these rocks and things, and I'd start to feel like I was getting squirrely. And I thought, there's no way I'm going to be able to go faster. But as I put more and more time on the bike, put more seat time on, more throttle time on, I just started to get better and better, and my mind started to process things better. I knew what the bike was going to do, and suddenly, you know, fast forward a year or two later, and now I really am bombing down through stuff, and I'm just letting the bike do the work and letting that muscle memory of what I should be doing with my knees and my feet and my hands and shifting the weight on the bike, and it all just came as a product of seat time. Got faster and faster and more comfortable, more in control with just putting the time in. So while there are no substitutes for seat time, there are some times when we just cannot get out and ride. Like right now in January in central and northern Utah, I've got so much snow on the ground, I can't really do any riding unless I drive a long way, and I can't afford to do that all the time. I don't have the time, don't have the money to just burn, you know, 4 hours one way to get to a place where I can ride. So what are some of the things we can do when we can't get out and ride? Well, you should probably be looking at your fitness program. Is there cardio that you could be doing? Could you go running? Could you do some cycling, you know, some spinning? Could you do some rowing? What can you do to get your heart rate up and get your lung capacity going so that the next time you do get out there, you're going to have more endurance? That's something to definitely think of. One of the things that I have been thinking about a lot is because I've been working out a little bit this year, I've actually had really good lung capacity and my legs have felt pretty good when I'm out there on my rides. But one of the things that has probably my weakest point have been my hands. I find that I can only go as long as my hands will let me hang on while I'm doing up hill climbs and different things and just trying to maneuver the bike around. And so my hands have been really like, you know, arm pump, that kind of stuff. So I got one of these, I just had my wife get me this for Christmas, a little trainer, and I've been taking this with me in the car. So I'll sit here, I'm kind of working this machine, squeezing the bar and doing a lot of the you know, exercises to try to build up that endurance, so that the next time I get out there on the trails, because I know that's probably my weakest point at this point with fitness, is I thought I want to be able to have stronger hands so I can hang on to the bar. So that's just something I'm thinking of when I can't get any seat time right now, is how can I improve myself so that the next time I do get out there on the bike, I can go ahead and knock it out of the park, so to speak. Something else that I think about is just visualizing the trail, visualizing the riding areas that you're going to, and just kind of keeping that fresh in your mind. I know that a lot of you guys are eating and sleeping and breathing dirt bikes, and one of the things that I think we can actually do is visualizing ourselves doing certain things. I know a lot of other sports athletes have thought about this, you know, like a basketball player might visualize themselves, you know, swishing a free throw, and a pitcher might visualize himself just, you know, knocking out that strike zone. And that's something that I think we as dirt bikers can do. Obviously, most of us are not paid, we're not those high level athletes, but we can visualize those moments when we're in the trail and we're pushing the bike through a corner, or, you know, we're going around a berm, or we're doing some of those types of things. I think that there is some definite value in keeping our mind sharp by visualizing being out there and doing a good job out there on the trails, and being able to pound over obstacles and things like that, so that when your eyes then actually see it for real on the trail, your mind is thinking, yeah, I've seen this before. You know, obviously the best thing you can do is to actually do it in real life. But if you can't, if you're in a situation where you can't ride for a month or 2 or 4, then I think we can give ourselves a little bit of an edge if we try to keep our mind sharp in visualizing going out there and doing those things and doing them well.